everyone. Welcome back to the Conversations podcast. I'm Daf.
I'm Mike.
And thank you for tuning in today. It's been about 3 weeks since we've sat down. Had a lot of travel and stuff. What have you been up to? Anything exciting or anything you want to share?
I'm in the market for a new car. I've been checking out the Bronco, if you're familiar with that model. It's very much like the Jeep that I drive now.
Exciting. Just been working a lot. I got a backyard patio installed, so now we have a backyard area. My cats really liked how it was just weeds and kind of open dirt and grass. So they're a little bit sad about the pavers, but I think they'll warm up eventually.
You mean they like the nature way better?
I could tell by the way that they walked through the tall grass, they thought they're in the jungle, you know?
Oh, really?
So
like it was bringing out their inner instincts?
For sure. Emil would jump around and run. It was precious. It's not that they dislike the pavers, they're definitely rolling around, but I could tell they're just where's the grass? Do you have something that you want to complain about or share, something that's annoying you?
No.
Since we've last sat down, this is very first world, but I paid $23 extra for an extra legroom seat. It was seat 9F. When we're boarding, everything gets jumbled up. I don't know why this took place. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I do know why this took place. There wasn't enough people on the plane, so they had to move everybody around to distribute weight, which was fine. But how did I go from 9F to 19F? 19F.
What kind of plane was this you were on? They had to...
I think it was Frontier.
Was this like a small...
Or American. Not sure.
Frontier or American?
Frontier
Wow.
or American. It wasn't too small. It was a regular sized plane. But yeah, I heard everybody chattering to themselves while we were getting on. They were oh, they have to redistribute the weight. And I was okay, that's fine. But I see several empty rows up there. How did I get kicked from 9F to 19F? And I did not get my $23 back. So I know that's very first world, but that peeved me a little bit.
Actually, I'm peeved for you. That's you literally did not get what you paid for.
I did want to ask you this because this is something that I do almost every single day, if not every day, every other day. How do you hype yourself up? For example, I'm getting ready for the day. It's time to go to Pilates. It's time to go run my errands or whatever. I'm getting ready to go out and I need to be hyped up. All I'm hearing is lawnmowers or bird chirping or my chickens laying their eggs or my cats squawking at me. I need some hype. So what am I going to do? I'm going to turn on Spotify, play my shuffled songs. There's 2,000 of them, been curated over 10 years. I'm very proud of my liked playlist. We've talked about you don't have any music apps. You don't save music. I've asked you what's your favorite song? You're always drawing a blank. You have nothing for me. So I want to know, what do you do to hype yourself up?
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. I don't really need to... I grew up in a very strict childhood, so I consider myself pretty disciplined.
As we sat down today, you're oh, I feel like my eyes aren't awake. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I didn't have my coffee.
Yeah.
You know what could have been in a coffee exchange? A little bit of a hype.
Coffee
you could have been
yeah.
hyping yourself up.
Yeah, but what you described with the music and the mood and I do it with coffee and a nice shower. I guess that's how I hype myself up.
I don't think you're doing enough because you weren't hyped when we sat down today.
My problem is falling asleep at night, the night before. I had trouble sleeping last night, and I kept telling myself, you got to get up a little bit earlier than normal tomorrow. So go to bed. But then that just makes it worse. So my eyes is basically I just didn't sleep that well last night. But I don't have a real pattern for hyping myself up or feel like
I knew that you would
to.
answer that way. Everybody should have a way to hype themselves up. When football players are running out onto the field about to do football, they're I don't know, playing music and hyping themselves up. When astronauts are holding their helmet and they're walking to get on the rocket or the spaceship or whatever they're about to do.
Or the Marines when they go into battle. Hooah!
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're hyping yourself up in a kind of dumb manner.
Well, you just said, and I agree, it's stupid.
But it's for you. It's important for you to be able to be silly and
No, I disagree.
It's on a personal level. Alter however you're going to hype yourself for your own personal liking. Mm-hmm. I am going to challenge you to come up with a way, and I want to hear in the future, how do you want to hype yourself up?
Okay. I think it's unmanly. Interesting suggestion. I've never thought of that, but okay, I accept the challenge.
For example, today I was listening to Come Get Her by Ray Shermerd, and I'm on one by DJ Khaled.
Say those artists again. Are they new?
No. Do you have a reoccurring dream or nightmare?
Yes, both. Dream first. I have a reoccurring dream. The details are almost exactly the same.
Right.
I'm back in my freshman year of high school. After lunch, fourth period is next. The bell rings. I head back to my locker because I've got 5 minutes till the next bell rings, which I have to be in my seat with my books and ready to go by that second bell. I'm at my locker. Time is a factor. I don't have my books yet. I know my locker combination, but every time I do it, it won't open. Doubting myself, second guessing myself. Is the order of the numbers wrong, or am I remembering the numbers wrong? And what's weird, I still remember my actual high school locker number, but when I wake up, I can't remember it. But in my dream, I do know what the numbers are. But no matter which combination of numbers I do, nothing works. And I can't get it. And I'm going to be late, and I've already been warned. And I'm like a third violation or what. Anyways, it's like kind of it's not a nightmare, but it's a stressful recurring dream. And it's a bad memory.
That's kind of hilarious. When I was using a locker in high school, or I was assigned one, I very quickly, 2 or 3 weeks into the year, I was like, I'm not using this thing. This is a pain in the butt. I am not
Really?
walking all the way around from campus or wherever I was to come and trek to get my book or folder or whatever it was that I needed. I just committed to carrying everything with me. When it wasn't cute to wear a backpack anymore, I switched over to purse, and you would just hold your 3-ring binder. Anyway, I didn't care about the locker.
Did you forget your number eventually?
I had it written down. I'm forgetful, especially when it comes to numbers. So I had it written down. It wasn't the remembering issue. I'm always over in D hall. I'm not trekking over to A hall for the locker. No. And then I remember I had a lower locker, which I despised. They had the top locker or the lower locker. And I was like, oh my God, they got me on the ground like a peasant.
Even when you were like a senior, they didn't switch you?
Junior year, I did get a top locker. I think maybe junior year, I tried again. I was like, okay, let me try, first couple of weeks. Maybe I'll like this better than I did last year because it was in a different hall. No, I just got used to not using the locker. I didn't care about it at all.
I forgot what a big deal that was back when I was 16.
Every once in a while, I would put a jacket in there. Where I lived in the Bay Area, it was very cold in the morning, and then it would get really hot in the afternoons. So it was convenient to not have to carry a jacket all the time. So I would use it mostly for clothes, but books were not in that locker.
Interesting. Funny. You totally just triggered a memory I haven't thought about in 40 years. And I remember feeling cool because from my freshman year, I was issued a top locker. Recurring nightmare it's a variation, but it's always the same thing. I'm somewhere and I have to address a bunch of people or talk to my boss or show up to a work function or meeting. And I look down and I have no pants. It's really weird, but I'm at work, I'm in my cubicle, it's time to go to the meeting. And I look down and I have no pants. I don't even have underwear. I'll panic, but it's I got my shirt, I got my tie, everything else. I just before I stand up, I realize I have no pants on.
Oh my gosh.
And it's kind of scary.
A recurring nightmare. When I was super young, I remember having it when I was 5 or 6. It was with the Kermit the Frog character from the Muppets.
I remember him.
To this day, he makes my skin crawl. That weird, creepy voice.
Yeah.
Even his shade of green gives me the ick.
The shape of his head was...
Let's not get too detailed about
weird.
Kermit. It's still a little touchy to this day. I
Really?
don't like the character. I don't like the Muppets. And it's solely because of this dream. So Kermit the Frog was chasing me in a forest with... It's not funny.
Yes.
And he was holding... I don't know if you're familiar with the cartoon SpongeBob, but a pastime that SpongeBob and his friends will do is go and catch jellyfish, and they catch the jellyfish in a net with a handle. So it's kind of a longer handle, and on the end it has a net. Kermit was chasing me through the forest with said SpongeBob jellyfish net. And I remember the chase going on for a while. I was exhausted. I was barefoot, cutting up my ankles. It was cold. It was starting to get dark. I was like, oh my God, Kermit is going to get me and I'm in this forest. But eventually he did capture me, and I was sitting captured in a pit similar to Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, really? That's horrifying. And you don't wake up before that happens?
No, it always ended with me in the pit and me thinking, oh my gosh, this guy is about to...
Or skin you?
And he was just talking to me in that creepy voice to this day. anything Muppet related. They had a Muppet resurgence 10 years or so at McDonald's, and I remember having to turn the TV off when they played those commercials.
I grew up on the Muppets. I remember Kermit. It wasn't his girlfriend, Miss Piggy. That's funny.
Anything Muppet related, I shut down, and I'm like, get it away from me.
Have you ever had nightmares that you can't run? Like you try your hardest, but your legs just will not work?
No. Have you ever had a dream where you
Yes.
start to fall?
Yeah.
I've never had it where I can't move, but like the scary motion for me
Is the fall
is
feeling?
the fall. Yeah.
Do you wake up before you hit the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I used to have those a lot when I was younger, since my childhood, but I vividly remember them because it was horrifying, that sensation. Just before I hit, I always woke up. And then I had friends tell me, yeah, if you don't wake up and you hit, you'll die in your sleep.
When I don't like something like the Muppets because of my dream, I go hard with blocking or protecting myself from getting any kind of content or advertisement or anything related to the Muppets, for example. But I'm that way in personal life as well. Not a fan of Taylor Swift. So,
I've heard that.
Yeah, you might be aware, not a fan of her. So I have her like blocked. I don't want her music coming up. If I happen to be on Spotify Shuffle, they're giving me songs that I don't have saved. Like, oh, hey, you might like this one. You better not serve me up a Taylor Swift song. So I have her blocked on Spotify. I have her blocked on like social media because I don't want her promotion posts bothering me. Don't want anything about her ever coming my way. I'm that way in personal life with people. If somebody pushes me to the point where I feel like I have to block you, our relationship has soured, there's no salvaging it, time to throw everything away.
Yeah.
Part of throwing everything away is the block. You are getting blocked on everything. I don't ever want to hear from you again. I don't want to come across or have a suggested post or see other people that I follow or like or interacting with you. No. Goodbye, good riddance. I will never be coming across you or anything you do again.
It's pretty final, don't you think?
That's just the way I feel. I was going through my Instagram blocked. I have almost 400 accounts on Instagram blocked.
400. You're kidding me.
No.
You're
I'm gonna check my settings right now and see how many phone numbers I have.
Wait, and that's
blocked.
just Instagram, or you meant all your social media?
Just on Instagram. 693 blocked phone numbers on my iCloud. 693.
I just have the word trigger happy come to mind.
Yeah, I guess. It's very easy for me to make that decision. Like, is this somebody that I care about, want to hear from, want to keep up with? Or is this somebody that I do not care about? I don't ever want them to have the opportunity to bother me again.
Yeah.
See you, bye. You're getting the
block.
block.
I'm uncomfortable. To me, I'm the polar opposite of you. I'm uncomfortable even. Well, remember there was that incident? I asked your advice because it was like the most recent. Like I considered it, but it bothered me just having to think about it. And in the end, I actually didn't block her.
And I remember having the conversation. I was like, Mike, block them.
Yeah.
They're undeserving. They're not serving you. Get it out of your mindset. You know?
I was uncomfortable. I ended up deciding. So I just ignore her, but I still have the number. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. 600. Wow. I would be so uncomfortable with that.
Because you think I'm going to block you?
No. I mean, I'm putting myself in your shoes.
What's uncomfortable about it?
There's a difference. You and I are very different people.
It's the generation thing. People of my generation or even the surrounding younger generations, I think it's nothing to block somebody.
I think gender might be part of it too. You know, you're a woman. I'm a man. I feel like that's like the ultimate rudeness to block somebody.
I don't know if that's the ultimate rudeness. I think cussing somebody out is the ultimate insult. Yeah. But I think blocking is definitely deserved. If you're getting blocked, it is 100% intentional for a reason, and you probably deserved it.
And it's final too.
No, you can always unblock somebody.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
I didn't know. See, I don't know about blocking.
You're so funny.
I've only actually blocked one person in my modern social media life. I don't know how it works.
Yes, you can unblock somebody, but if I'm getting to the point where I'm going to block somebody, there's like a 0.1% chance that you would ever get unblocked. You know what I mean?
So it's not as final as I thought.
There's nothing final about it. You can be unblocked. Yeah, but again, I think the decision to block somebody is big. So if I'm getting there, really probably no opportunity or chance for you to undo my decision.
Yeah, it's a drastic move.
I think it's probably deserved.
I'm not arguing with you about that. 700 is just incredible to me. And here I was asking you for advice and helping me to decide if I should block this one person. What was that? Last month?
Yeah, last month.
Yeah.
That's why I was glad when you brought it up to me. I was like, okay,
Because you're
I'm the person to talk to about
right.
this.
I had no idea.
I am a blocking expert.
Yes. Well, I'm happy to know I came to the right person. And I appreciated your advice. In the end, though, I didn't block her.
Yeah, I just have I have minimal tolerance. Again, if somebody pissed me off and I'm just like, okay, you're done, I'm making sure you're not like creating a new account to bother me again. Like, no.
What was the most common reason of blocking 700 people? Is there like a pattern or a theme?
Probably just being annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. What would somebody have to do to make you want to block them?
Well, I'm not going to count the last one because I didn't block her, but the first and only person I blocked was a woman who I was very involved with, interested in.
She was your girl?
She was my girl. Yeah, she was my
go.
girlfriend. And I blocked her. She really hurt me, screwed me over. I don't want to go into the details, but it was basically an infidelity thing. I got over it. It was painful at the time, though. I blocked the hell out of her. I mean, I didn't just block her. I just stopped paying my bill. And I went, they disconnected me for almost 2 months. And I just never went in there. I called them and I told them, don't give my number away. I want to keep my number. But I lied to them and just said I was going to come in and get even. But I gave it 2 months because I didn't even want to get called.
You're hilarious. See, that's something I'll never let somebody do. Create an obstacle for me. Like, I can't use my phone for 2 months because I want to curve you. No. They didn't have block back in the day, right? You couldn't block the number when this was happening.
This was trying to think. This was like 2005, 2010, maybe.
Yeah, so just flip phones. I really bet you
that it was a flip phone.
I bet you couldn't block back then.
I think my option was just delete her, and then she emailed me. She almost never called. She texted, but I deleted her. That didn't work, so I freaking just let my cell phone go out of lapse. I had a really good friend I was living with, so I was just using his phone all the time for like 2 months.
Ridiculous.
Can I use your phone again? He's like, when are you going to get over this?
If you were going to have a personal transformation, what would be your main goals and what would be your first points of action to get the transformation underway?
So I'm a bit older than you. I feel like I've already gone through several major transformations in my life, but to stick to your question, my next one would be I want to look more fit. I want to get rid of my gut.
What would be your first 2 points to get the personal transformation underway?
I'm a big believer of diet and exercise. I'm going to start with diet and exercise. To be specific, I eat too much and too late. So I tend to really fill up at dinner, which I'm going to try to eat less at dinner and then also not eat so late. And then try to just cut the snacks out, which is really hard for me because when I'm on the computer, especially if I'm gaming, I got to stop snacking. Interesting, I remember when I lived in Japan, my favorite girlfriend, she had a rule and she was fit as a fiddle. I loved her figure. She would never eat after 7 p.m. No matter what, it worked for her good. My lifestyle in Japan was sometimes I had late jobs. Like literally I'd work till 8 p.m. at conversation classes in private schools. So I would get back to my apartment at like 9 and I was like starving and I hadn't had dinner yet. And I would, come out to dinner with me. So she would come with me and join me for dinner. And she would sit there on the other side of the table and watch me eat. And she wouldn't touch a bite.
That's not sad. That's just somebody who knows their personal boundaries and what they're okay and what they're not okay with. I would applaud her for joining you still.
No, she'd come with me, but she stayed strong and yeah.
It's nice of her. And point number 2?
I'm going to make an effort to take more walks, which I know doesn't sound very drastic, but for me and my metabolism, walking really, I mean, you picked me up when I got back from Thailand, right? And you noticed a difference. I didn't work out at any of the hotels I stayed. I walked everywhere.
Sure.
Walking is huge when you're older.
For sure. I think you should push yourself to do more than just walking.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
I gave you guys one of my rowing machines. It's at your house.
Yeah.
there's dust on it every time I come by. So
Yeah.
nobody's using it.
No.
I'm actually going to get ready to bring mine out of storage and put it back here because I miss it. There's nothing more fun than sitting on the rowing machine for a good 45 minutes and just rowing.
Nothing
Nowhere.
more fun than that.
I mean, I miss it. I used to do that in my old
Really?
apartment, and then I started doing Pilates. I'm actually looking into Legree now because I'm ready to step it up from Pilates. Pilates is fun, and it's definitely been foundational. I'm not going to stop going to Pilates, but I'm going to stop going as much, and I'm going to start Legree.
Have you ever felt like regular exercise was a chore?
No.
You don't see it that way?
It's literally something for me. Yeah, definitely not a chore.
I feel like there's something else I'd rather do than go exercise.
No, because you eventually, when you get into a routine, you'll start to realize, oh, I feel better. I was feeling a little slow and lethargic before I went to work out. And then
Yeah.
after Pilates, like, sometimes I even consider, I'm like, all right, am I going to go to the gym now? Is it time to go even more hard? Is it time to go to the gym?
Yeah, you have an interesting attitude. Very different than mine.
Because when I was in my youngest 20s, when I was 21, 22, 23, 24, I was slave laboring, with my 1 or 2 full-time jobs. And there was no opportunity to do that. I would literally get off of work, maybe make a microwave dinner, and push myself to fall asleep in a timely manner so that I could wake up and do it all over again. So when I was not able to do anything for myself, like work out, the absence was felt.
For me, it's always seemed like a chore and a time thing.
Kind of a random topic, but maybe a little bit similar. I know we discussed the reintroduction of whole milk in schools recently. This is something that I didn't actually realize was taking place, similarly to the milk. In 2010, the adoption of Common Core state standards removed mandated cursive instruction. This shift caused a significant decline in the teaching of cursive. Many students lost the ability to read or write in cursive, creating difficulties with historical documents and the signing of personal documents. The reasons for removal was driven by needing more classroom time for technology. So apparently, handwriting was not more important than learning how to use a computer and how to type on a computer. I think that's pretty bizarre. Teach you how to do cursive in like 1st, 2nd, or 3rd grade.
Yeah,
Super
I remember
young.
being taught to write out a letter A, and then there's the cursive version
Right.
A at the same time.
Okay,
That's
so at
how
the
I
same
remember it.
So super integral, like basic learning. I'm bewildered as to why they would undo that. Obviously, they were prioritizing learning on a computer.
Yep.
Do you think there were any secret or privatized reasons as to why they would have removed it from the Common Core standards?
I think the agenda of school is to prepare young people, children, Americans, to be better, more efficient, high productive workers rather than free thinkers or intelligent people. They want you efficient, proficient on a computer. They don't want to waste time on cursive alphabet. It's get them into the computers as soon as they can.
A child or a young adult is presented with the Constitution written all in cursive.
I didn't even think of that.
And then there's no interest in learning the Constitution or what it says or the meaning behind it.
I thought I was a conspiracy theorist.
Is it
I agree, though.
conspiracy if it's a reality?
No.
How many children are unable to read cursive, so they're just uninterested or turning away anything that ever comes up in cursive?
How can a modernly educated human being refer to his own rights, basic rights, if he can't read them? Because they're written in cursive. It's basically like, you see all these YouTube videos where people argue against the cops and they say, I know my rights. Well, how are they going to know their rights if they can't even read them?
I was just using the Constitution as an example. Obviously, there's other historical articles, books,
Yeah.
whatever. There's a lot of information out there that I think children are just going to be closed off to or uninterested in. Additionally, things that I've been reading about say that AI is incapable of deciphering cursive, which is kind of strange because you think it's really smart. Why wouldn't it be able to?
Right. But it's kind of like a human-specific advantage. And it's like you're saying they want to remove that.
A Common Core learning in the 50 states did remove that. Although apparently there has been petitions, over 20 states are using local laws or initiatives to reinstate it back into their schools, which I think is great. It should not have been removed. I think a basic part of being a person is having your signature. You have to sign your license. You have to sign checks if you're doing that. You have to sign your name at the bank.
All contracts.
So why would they take away the ability for somebody to refine their signature? It's very personal, but it's also something that's on a public level. You want to be able to decipher like who signed this. oh, I'm not familiar with that person's signature and I'm not really fluent in cursive reading, so I'm not sure who signed that. I mean, if you're in a position, a job, where you have to be reviewing things.
What you're saying, in a word, is dehumanization, which I believe is their agenda.
I would say lack of personalization. Dehumanization could be interpreted similarly, I guess.
They want us to be better employees.
Historically, the younger generation is outsmarting, outachieving
For all of history.
Their parents
Yes,
or their
for all of
grandparents.
history, yeah.
I mean, that's evolution. That's the way it's supposed to go. Unfortunately, Gen Z is the first generation undoing that.
Which is Gen Z?
97 to 2012.
To me, that's horrifying.
Remember, we were at dinner a couple weeks ago with our group of friends, and one of the friends, her job is high level.
I know who you're talking
And
about.
she's talking about how the younger aged employees, my age and maybe a little bit younger, are repeatedly not showing up to work, being late, being lazy, not caring about work quality. If you went through all the hoops to get higher education and college degree to do what it is that our friend is doing to work in that company, how are you not showing up? How are you calling in sick all the time? Do you not understand that a job is such an amazing opportunity and you're literally screwing yourself over, potentially getting fired or let go by such an amazing employer, and nobody else is ever going to want to hire you again? But like, I don't get it. And these are people apparently my age. When our friend was saying this, I kind of just had to bite my tongue because that sure as heck wouldn't be me.
No.
When I worked in corporate and, I worked for the government, I applied myself. I was showing up. I was doing 100%. I was getting awards. Not to stroke my own feathers here.
I don't think Gen Z applies to you.
Thank you.
Like when you read it that you're actually in the age range, I was like, no.
Thank you. But no, technically I am. I have a hard time relating to my fellow Generation Zs. Yeah, that just wouldn't be me. Unfortunately, it is true, exampled by our true life, experience, our friend. We didn't ask her about this. She just started talking about it because it's on her mind and it's obviously rampant and something that's happening all the time. So
I thought it was interesting that these policy changes in children's education is literally hitting the road in real life now. When she was saying how like these people they don't seem to understand, cannot get a grip on the idea that they are ruining their lives. And that more than that, they're ruining society. If everybody thought that way, stuff wouldn't work.
Yeah.
The lights wouldn't be on right now if the people in charge of maintaining our electrical power grid just decided, you know what, the surf's up today. I'm going down to San Diego and I'm hitting the beaches.
Never once did I call in sick being like, you know what, I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go shopping. If I'm calling in sick, I'm about to die.
But you did ditch school a lot, you told me.
My work ethic in the professional world was severely different from any bad characteristics or any bad behaviors that I exampled when I was a young adolescent / teen. I definitely realized when I was in the real world, damn, it's go time. And I made a total 360 change.
You flipped a page.
360,
quick.
180,
180.
whatever. Yes, I was a frequent ditcher, but not to sound Gen Z. Truly, I just couldn't take being in a social environment.
Yeah.
Especially when I felt like I wasn't thriving. It was kind of like a block. I was like, you know what? I don't have any friends in this class. The teacher really doesn't like me. Probably not going to pass it. You know what I'm going to do? Block. I'm ditching this class.
Block this whole school thing.
Straight up. There were some school years where I literally went to one of my classes probably like 6 or 7 times. The teacher would joke. She'd be like, oh, you're blessing us today.
Blessing us with your attendance today. I'm mostly teasing you. Turned a leaf, flipped a page. When I was a senior, after lunch, I had only one class. In middle school and high school, it was always 2 classes after lunch. When it went down to just 1 class after lunch, it was just so easy not to go to that class and to just blow off the whole day. I got in a bad habit of, I go to my first, 4 periods, and then I'd leave school.
It was the exact opposite for me. When I was a senior, I had not passed enough classes to the point where, when you're a senior, maybe you only have like 4 or 5 periods.
Right.
I had 7.
So, because you were behind in the credits.
I had all 6 and 0. So
really?
I had 7.
Really? Back to the original part of their plan or their, I hate saying agenda, their new policy, their prioritization of digital learning over cursive and dehumanizing. So I'm really big into history. historically, there is a part of history that I think relates to this. There was a king, King James in England, decided that it would be a huge benefit to humanity if the common man could read the Bible, because up until then it was written in Greek or Latin.
Right, not to cut you off, but I know what you're saying. So King James wanted the Bible to be translated for everybody to be able to understand
into common English.
Because in the past it had been priests who have an underlying agenda and an objective to decipher the old texts into something that would prompt people to be super involved in the church.
Well, and they wouldn't be needed so much anymore. If the common man could stay home and read the Bible with his family on Sunday, well, they didn't have to go to church and donate every week. They did not want to lose their relevance,
right,
and their power. But it was worse than that. This is amazing for me, I think, to read about history. These are men of God, right? Thou shalt not kill. They tried to kill the king.
Oh, because he wanted it translated.
He ordered that it be translated. They urged him not to do that. And they gave false reasons, because the true reason was they wanted to retain their power, followed their objective, and make people reliant on the church. The church didn't want to lose their relevance and their power. Their power lust was so great that they literally broke their own teachings. Thou shalt not murder. They tried to murder the king because he wouldn't listen to him. So
going back to cursive, who's being murdered for saying no more cursive? How does this relate?
Our employers. They don't want to lose control of
the employers aren't the ones setting the Common Core standards.
Yeah, they are. The corporations, the politicians, the people who make the most money off of cheap labor. They want obedient employees that do what they're told and don't ask questions. Let's wrap it up with Thrash.
Netflix movie Thrash. I think it's pretty new. It's kind of a stupid name. Survival thriller, disaster movie mashup. There's a Category 5 hurricane coming. Small coastal town is completely flooded. Some people didn't evacuate. And next thing we know, there's aggressive sharks because a nearby meat packing plant truck fell over and chummed up all the waters, coincidentally.
Good summary.
Thank you. It followed several key characters, mainly being pregnant lady, Lisa, agoraphobic woman, Dakota, and then a group of foster children, maybe adopted children, that are clearly unloved by their guardians. We're watching like 3 different groups of people throughout the entire movie, or actually 4. Yeah. Then we got the researchers, Dakota's uncle.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot of characters going on in this movie. What I didn't like was that the heavily pregnant woman was constantly making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
The one scene that I wanted to see was Lisa climbing from her car after being saved from Dakota. Dakota frees her from the branch or whatever that was trapping her in her car. She was about to suffocate. I wanted to see her pregnant ass climb back into the house because we saw Dakota struggle to get out of the house down to her.
Yeah.
How is super heavily pregnant, pretty much in labor at that point, going to climb up the way that she did? Anyway.
Yeah, didn't they just skip that part
they did.
altogether?
I was a little bit pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, she got her. How are we going to get back in the house? Scene change.
I don't like movies that when they do that.
Also didn't like that when pregnant lady gave birth, the baby just like pops out and is in these nasty ocean waters.
Yeah.
I would be losing my mind. My baby is not touching nasty ocean water with corpses.
Yep.
And, chummy meat. I'd be pissed. That baby is not starting off well.
I didn't like that whole
not a good introduction
part either.
Didn't like that. So I could talk about other things I didn't like. I just thought it was kind of a silly movie. I would say watch it. Like, I wouldn't say it was so dumb, don't watch it. I got a few laughs out of it. I just thought it was a little bit silly. Was that your take?
I would not recommend. I thought of it as a waste of time. I wouldn't recommend seeing it. It was entertaining. The morbidity factor, the blood and the eating. I just thought it was a ripoff of Jaws. Did you ever see Jaws?
I think I saw bits and pieces, but I'm not really into shark movies. But this one, Thrash, had less shark attention. We were kind of also really scared of the hurricane and other things that were at play. We knew the sharks were there, and they were swimming around, making the kids uncomfortable because the sharks were eventually in the house that the kids were in. It was definitely eerie, but it wasn't 100% shark like Jaws was. I don't think I could get all the way through Jaws.
No.
Yeah.
It is slower. I really enjoyed Jaws. It's a classic. It profoundly changed my life. I'm afraid to swim in the ocean after I saw that movie, and I grew up near the ocean, so that was a bad thing for me. I thought it was a ridiculous movie. A lot of it didn't make sense, and like you said, the parts where they didn't show how she just. Was she still pregnant, or did she just have her baby? And then
she's
like in the house,
pretty much moments away from starting labor, or I think when she was in the car, she was starting to have cramps, or whatever. Another thing, she gets out of her flooded car. She was literally like, trying to get like the last little bit of air because she was totally about to drown in the car.
Yep.
When she gets into Dakota's house, for a few hours of a reprieve before the house starts to flood. Girl has her phone, and when she starts to give birth, she pops on, her Spotify birthing playlist. LO freaking L. First, she didn't have a waterproof case on her phone. Secondarily, even if your phone was waterproof, it's not working perfectly fine like that. Just an hour or two later, that didn't sit right.
Ridiculous,
with me.
right?
I was like, girl would not have her phone. It would not be working right now. My friend who we were watching the movie with said, oh, well, Spotify, does work if you don't have service. I'm like, yeah, I know that. The cell phone services were out too. Spotify would not be working.
Back it up even more to that. So she had her baby that day, right? I just always thought, like the week before you're due, that's when you stay home or you check yourself into a where was the husband
they touched
boyfriend?
on that. She got left. Her husband left her.
Yeah, okay. Bad man.
Left her right after making her move across the country away from her family and support system.
Yeah.
And, she's about to have, they touched on that in the beginning.
It was dumb. I'm glad we didn't pay for it. Did we pay for it?
No, it was on Netflix. I mean, I pay my Netflix subscription, which is going up every couple of months, it seems like.
That too.
I never saw this movie, but people are comparing it to Sharknado. Did you see that?
No, never even heard of that movie. Sharknado?
Sharknado. I think there's a large shark, giant shark, and a tornado happening at the same time.
Sharknado.
Anyway, people are comparing it to that. That's pretty much all we have for this week. I do just want to give a small sign-off shout out. When I was out of state, unfortunately, one of my beloved hens did pass away. Younger hen, her name was Lemon. She was really feisty. She was the one who had pecked me a few times and drew blood. So she wasn't the most loving towards me, but of course I loved her. And it was just really heartbreaking to not be here for her when she passed. I do believe she may have instigated her murder. She was kind of starting issues with the other girls before I left. She was pretty aggressive, pecking them, drawing blood, not being as friendly as everybody else was. So I do unfortunately think that she may have instigated her death. Regardless, it's always really heartbreaking when you can't be there for one of your beloved pets. And that was really sad for me, but I hope she rests peacefully. And unfortunately, there is an overall more relaxed vibe to the group now that Lemon has departed. So I'm not saying it was for the better. Obviously, I miss her, and I really was hoping that her attitude was something that could be corrected with time. But yeah, anyway, we miss you, Lemon, and we're thinking about you always.
Well, I just want to say I was here when that happened. Yeah, she was loved and missed when she passed. So I don't think you should feel bad for being away the way you were.
Thank you for saying that. Hope you guys have a really great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
I hope everybody's happy and eats better, stay in shape, be happy.